Hello and welcome to the Home Medicine Summit. My name's Marjorie Wildcraft, and I'm the founder of the Grow Network, which is this crazy, zany group of people who have the audacity to make our own medicine, grow our own food, and build real resiliency in our communities. And this next presentation is all about how to wrap your kidneys. Okay, that sounds really bizarre, but if you have burnt out adrenals, and then the next thing to burn out after you burn out your adrenals is your thyroid, then you're going to want to know about wrapping your kidneys, because it's one of the a three-pronged approach that I have used in order to really begin to heal some thyroid issues that I have. It's a very simple process, and this is actually one of our shorter presentations because really the information on how to wrap your kidneys is pretty succinct. But I also wanted to show you, I met this really, really extraordinary sheep herder. Her name is Lynn Gillespie out in Colorado, and I've been hanging out with her for most of a year while she's taking care of her sheep, everything from the birthing to when the lambs are growing up, to the shearing, to the cleaning of the wool and the carding of the wool. And Lynn makes the ultimate kidney wrap. Now, I will say you don't need to go to this extent in order to get the effects and the benefits of a kidney wrap. And in fact, in this presentation, I'll show you how to do it very simply with just an ordinary scarf. But this process of making it is so extraordinary. And then the kidney wraps that Lynn makes are just amazing. And I thought, we're going to share this. This is really amazing. Let me tell you just a little bit about Lynn herself. Let me grab this bio up here. She and her family have been organically farming on 210 acres of land known as the Living Farm, which is located in Paonia, Colorado. For Lynn and her family, the grocery store has been optional for 35 years. I mean, as you see it, they totally live this lifestyle. They produce their own, and also they sell fruits and organic fruits and vegetables, beef, turkey, chicken, pork, and of course, lamb. They also grow a significant amount of the feed for the livestock. And Lynn really is renowned for her exceptional flock of sheep, which are used for milk, meat, and wool. And Lynn makes cheese and ice cream and yogurt from the milk. Yum, yum. The meat is highly, highly sought after by local chefs. And the wool is processed by hand to make felted mittens, scarves, slippers, hats, and kidney wraps. I mean, Lynn really has the ultimate kidney wrap. Lynn has also innovated on a new form of artwork called wool murals, and her work can be seen in galleries throughout the western United States. Lynn also teaches felting, gardening, and greenhouse management classes. So come join me on this adventure to learn how to wrap your kidneys, and then just this one woman and how she makes the ultimate kidney wrap. There's no doubt that there's a lot of stress in the world these days, and a lot of people focus on the adrenal glands as being the organ that gets hit the hardest, and it definitely is true. The adrenal glands and the kidneys are very, very closely related. In fact, the adrenal glands sit just right on top of the kidneys. And when your adrenal glands get burned out, the next thing to go is going to be your thyroid, and especially a lot of women my age, we're having thyroid issues. The real solution to both the adrenals and the thyroid is to really take care of your kidneys, because that is the foundation for all of it. Now, a lot of people, when they think about taking care of their kidneys, they're thinking about taking supplements or herbs or things like that, and that's definitely a very important component in addition to reducing the stress in your life. But there's another very simple physical technique to really help improve your kidney health and also to really soothe those aching adrenal glands. Your kidneys really like three things. They like to be warm, dark, and snug. And there's a very simple technique for really, really comforting them. There's a historical technique called a kidney wrap, where you simply keep your kidneys warm and snug and dark and very, very happy. This is a technique that has been used pretty much by all of humanity on almost every continent. Some of the more famous ones are the samurai warriors wore these, and then of course their wives. And here's some photos of different Turkish attire with the way the different Turks wore these kidney wraps. Something so intimate that's next to your body all the time should really be made out of natural fibers. And if you want to find what fibers are going to be the best, you should go to places where it's really cold country and look at the animals that are living there that are happy and snug and warm in just the most cold conditions. One of the great characteristics about natural fibers is that they warm you to the right temperature and they don't get you sweaty the way synthetics do. And just like you are what you eat, what you wear really close to your body makes a big difference. And at the end, I'll show you how you can do this with just almost any kind of scarf. But right now, I want to show you how to make the ultimate kidney wrap. And I'm going to introduce you to a shepherd. Her name is Lynn Gillespie, who lives at the Living Farm. Lynn Gillespie lives high up in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. She tends to a flock of about 100 sheep. These are not just a big flock to Lynn, they are almost like family members, and Lynn knows them all by name, and she knows each of their personalities too. Early in the spring, during the lambing season, the new baby lambs are born. Each year, about half of Lynn's flock is bred, and it's timed so that they will all come in due early April. It's a crazy and intense with all sorts of birth and death and amniotic fluid and blood and miracles. A select group of women friends are often chosen to come help during this crazy time to be midwives to the flock. Birthing happens 24 hours per day, and the women take shifts to help. The most important part of the lambing is the snuggling of the baby lambs. Sheep by nature are very skittish animals, and if they are loved and snuggled and hugged from the moment of their birth, then they are much more easier to handle throughout their lives. Sometimes during severely cold weather, snuggling the new babies by the fire is necessary to keep them alive. Once the lambing is over and the new babies are adjusted to their new world, the whole community is invited to what's called lamb loving. Note at this time that the wool length of the mamas was sheared short earlier to match that of the babies, so that the moms will naturally make sure the babies stay at the right temperatures. And as the lambs grow, they start to frolic and play, and it's so much fun. As the green grass starts to come in, the flock is put out on pasture, and the lambs grow in sunshine, pure water, and clean, organically grown pastures. Lynn's husband Tom plants other fields that will grow hay and oats to feed the flock during the winter. Almost everything for the flock is produced here on the farm, with the exception of some minerals. The lambs grow and grow, and as winter comes on, their wool grows too. When the flock is taken off pasture and fed hay, Lynn puts sheep coats on the sheep. It's not to keep them warm, but to keep the wool clean. The hay that Tom has grown will be fed to the sheep during the winter, and if the sheep didn't have the coats on them, the wool would get so messy that it would be essentially useless. As winter closes and the snow thaws, it's time for the shearing. Lynn carefully keeps track of which wool comes from which sheep, as the quality of wool from each ewe is important. The wool is then very carefully washed with Dr. Bronner soap. Lynn's daughter Jenny helps with the washing of the wool. The wool is laid out to dry in the family's living room. The wool is then carded to further clean out any hay or debris. The cleaned and carded wool is then felted by hand. From the years of working with her sheep and the intimate knowledge of each lamb, Lynn knows the characteristics of the wool of each of the ewes. Next, the felted wool is taken to another community member, Mary, who does the sewing and the trimming and the tagging. Each kidney wrap is carefully packaged and tracked the whole time so that we can correlate with which sheep the wool came from. You know, Lynn, I gotta say these kidney wraps are just so, they're just so comfortable. I feel like I'm being hugged.
That's exactly what it feels like, a great big hug, and it feels so good all day.
Yeah, just like all day you've got somebody just nurturing you and holding you from behind and keeping you nice and warm.
Yeah.
How do you keep these clean? I mean, I'd like to keep mine on I like to have an inner shirt and then put my kidney wrap over it and then have my outer layers on top of that. But like for people that you can wear it close to your skin, right?
You wear it next to your skin, yeah. And if you want to wash it, it's just like shampooing your hair. So you can just put it in the bathtub or the sink with a little shampoo, rinse it out, lay it flat to dry. You're good to go.
So you don't need to do the woolite and all that stuff?
No, you don't. Anything you use on your hair is perfectly fine for for a wool product.
I guess it's sheep hair, right?
Yeah.
You know, so
there you go.
yeah, so that works.
Yep.
Well, I promised to show people how to do this with just a scarf.
That's good.
And so I'm gonna show them what I do. And by the way, I love these things. Wearing a kidney wrap is like having a jacket on. I mean,
it truly is.
It's truly that warm. So I travel a lot, and actually this backpack right here is my mobile office. I mean, I've got everything, and I travel a lot. I got everything in here. And one of the most important parts of it is I always carry a kidney wrap with me. And what's great, I mean, it's just, I'm going to be replacing it out with one of these new fancy ones that Lynn's making. But, you know, it's just so small. And let me show you how you do this when you do it with a scarf. Yeah. You just wrap it around you. And I like to make sure the back side where the kidneys are double wrapped, because those are the ones you really want warm. And then you just tuck it in. And again, I've usually got an undershirt on it, and then I have, you know, whatever outer layers.
Yeah, you just put your sweater or coat over the top, and you're good to go.
And so this one, and it does sometimes get untucked, which is why I like the design you have with the Velcro that
it's gonna stay.
It holds it in place. And I think Lynn's design actually ends up having you be a little bit slimmer, but it's, you know, you're not really bulking up with these that much, especially the wool really seems to hold in the heat much better than other fibers. But I've had this one for 7 years now. This is the exact same one. And by wearing it over an undershirt and then having it under an outer layer, this thing has stayed clean this entire, I've never had to clean this. It's just, and for me it's a vital piece of gear when I'm traveling.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
You never know. I mean, I was, a couple of weeks ago, I was in Mexico, it's 100 degrees outside.
Air conditioning.
I was freezing. I was freezing. Yep. I'm like, where's my kidney wrap? You know?
That's all you need.
Yeah, it really is. It was great just to have it. And airplanes, they can get really cold sometimes. So, yeah, so it's a great tool for when you're traveling. So, you know, this is such a simple physical technique. Actually, I'm going to put this one back on because I like this one.
Yeah, me too.
It's just such a simple technique, and you know, especially every fall, and it just is a vital component to helping your kidneys and your kidney health. It's really important. So you know, whether you use a scarf or whether you get one of these from Lynn, whatever you do, look at using this very simple physical technique for taking care of your kidneys, which will also really help your adrenals and ultimately also help your thyroid. So this is Marjorie Wildcraft with the Grow Network and my friend Lynn Gillespie with the Living Farm, and now you know how to make the ultimate kidney wrap. So you can use a scarf, or
you can get your own flock of sheep and make your own.
And there you go. Well, that was Lynn Gillespie. Oh my God, I had such a good time during the birthing of the lambs. I got to live out my midwifing fantasies, right? Who haven't you wanted to be a midwife? I mean, isn't that something you've always dreamed about? Like, it was crazy good fun with all these you never knew when it was going to happen. And it was crazy good time. And then, of course, all the adventures we had throughout the year that you saw in the video there. And the making of this wool is so much work. And I kept saying, Lynn, we got to cut some of this out. And we had to cut out a lot of the footage. It was actually a lot more work than what she showed there. Obviously, there's only a few of these, but these are available for sale. And if you click the button to the right, we have a limited quantity of them. I think Lynn has 3 sizes there, small, medium, and large, and a guide to figure out which one you need. This is a personal item of that you will use for and have for decades, really, literally. I plan on keeping mine for the rest of my life, and I'm so delighted to have one of Lynn's kidney wraps. Really just an extraordinary material, made by hand, made with love, and just beautifully put together. So click on that button to the right to pick up a kidney wrap. And then, of course, if that's not in your bracket, then don't worry. Just ordinary scarf, as I showed you in the video, is a great way to go. So I had promised also at the beginning to talk to you about my 3 pillars of what I have done. So, I lived a really fast, hard life, right? I definitely burned out my adrenal glands, and then after the adrenals go the thyroid. And I wasn't aware of it. I learned of what was going on for me through interacting in the forums with other members of the Grow Network. There's a lot of women my age in the Grow Network. And the 3 main symptoms that I was seeing was my hair was falling out. When I washed my hair, I'd have a handful of hair. I'm like, whoa, something is wrong here. I was having some temperature stuff going on that didn't make sense. I'm way past menopause, right? So it wasn't that. And then the outer, you don't see it in this picture because my daughter has makeup on me. That's kind of rare, actually. But the outer third of my eyebrows started to disappear. And those are all symptoms of thyroid issues. Here's what I did to really reverse that and heal it. And the number one was wearing these kidney wraps. I mean, I have them all the time. I have one with me all the time, as I showed you in my bag in the video there. And I consider that an essential piece of my personal medical gear, actually. If my kidneys get all upset and screaming and upset and cold or nervous or whatever, I immediately wrap those kidneys and they calm down and they just feel so good. Go get a scarf right now and try it. Go try it. I'm not kidding. You're going to just be amazed at how the relief you feel. The second thing I did was a lot of meditation. In the mornings, I have a practice for an hour where I calm myself down. I get in touch with the divine, with the Creator, and I ask of, what can I do today to serve? Who can I send love to help heal? And then I also send love to my own throat, my own thyroid, and send healing intention. I really believe in the power of intention to heal, and it's been helping. The third thing, I do work on the physical level with herbs, as we had mentioned. And if you head over to Rosemary Gladstar's presentation where she talks about the 15 herbs that she loves for energy and vitality, almost all of those count. But I'll go through my personal favorites. Oat straw. I do an infusion of oat straw at least 2 or 3 times a week. The same with nettles. Deeply, deeply nutritive. I'm doing nettle infusions at least 2 or 3 times a week. I also really love astragalus and ashwagandha. And again, as Rosemary said, these are not short-term. These are long-term, tonifying, revivifying herbs that you're just constantly including into different aspects of your meals. I also love chamomile tea and passion flower tea in the evenings to help settle me down and calm me down. And the other, and we do have a presentation on this also, is CBD oil. Has helped me tremendously, relieving anxiety and calming me down. So that's my selection of herbs. So yes, and I can tell this is working because I no longer lose hair when I'm washing my hair. I no longer have those crazy temperature things. And we'll keep watching my videos and we can all see if my eyebrows grow back or not. I really don't wear that much makeup, so you'll know. Okay, well, this is Marjorie Wildcraft. Join me for another presentation at the Home Medicine Summit, and you can heal yourself. You can make your own medicine and you can heal.